Hi, and welcome to the Skincarma Pod. I'm Carmine, the creator and voice of the Skincarma blog. With more than 3 decades in beauty as a brand builder, copywriter, and skincare junkie, I'm putting my product wisdom and expertise to work demystifying skincare. One of the biggest shifts in skincare over the past decade is that consumers have become incredibly ingredient savvy. We know to look for niacinamide, we hunt for ceramides, we compare peptide concentrations, we debate mineral versus chemical sunscreen filters, and many of us have gotten into the habit of turning over every carton before we buy an anti aging serum, inspecting the ingredient list, and trying to suss out a skincare scam. But here's the question: are we actually reading those ingredient lists correctly? Because while ingredient labels can tell us a lot, they can also be surprisingly easy to misinterpret. They don't reveal concentrations beyond a certain point. They don't tell us how well a product is formulated. And they certainly don't tell us whether that trendy hero ingredient is doing much of anything at all. So today, we're learning how to read ingredient labels through the eyes of someone who formulates skincare for a living. Joining me once again is Annie Graham, cosmetic chemist and co-founder of Atomic Pom Labs. Annie has an incredible gift for translating formulation science into language the rest of us can actually understand. With her deep expertise in cosmetic chemistry, formulation, and skincare education, she's going to help us all become smarter, more confident skincare aficionados. This is going to be really, really fun. So let's welcome Annie back to the pod. Annie!
Hi, Carmine. How's LA treating you?
Oh my God. Except for my crappy Wi-Fi in LA, it's been heaven. The weather is literally, I just have to flex for a second. I wake up every day and it's like 65 degrees. And I go on an hour and a half bike ride, and then at around 1 or 2, it's like 78 degrees. And this
Crazy.
past week, it just started getting into the 80s. And I'm like looking at my phone, looking at what's going on in New York, and it's
Well,
like so
can I just
miserable.
say for the rest of the world, that's like
Yes.
30 degrees.
Oh, got it. You're translating for me? Yeah, because
Translating for you.
let me play ignorant American for a moment. And of course that comes out, but I only know one Celsius degree, and it's 16. And
All right. You know what?
I know that's 61. That's all I know.
Canada's always got you because we are so influenced by the United States that I don't know how tall I am in centimeters, but
Oh,
I know I'm 5'6". Okay. I know how much I weigh in pounds, not kilograms. Yet, I have to formulate in milliliters and
right,
ounces, like
right. I was
kilometers, meters,
I was just joking.
miles.
I was joking with one of my best friends here. We went to college together, and we were joking the other day about how when we were kids, I remember I was in 6th grade, and they taught us the metric system for the first time, and they told us when it was important because when we grew up, this is what we were going to use. And I'm like, I have to rack my brain to figure out how many liters is this bottle of water? It's 1.5
One.
liters.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I only know this because this is the bottle of water that I love.
So do you know how many milliliters that is?
1,500?
Yeah, look at
Okay.
you. Welcome to Canada. When you are
Thank
done with
you.
the sun and the fun and Target runs, you come on up to the Great North.
Oh my God, hilarious. All right, so we're here to talk about deciphering an ingredient list. I consider myself an expert, but only relative to everyone around me. I am by no means an expert in comparison to you, and this is why I wanted to have you on. And I know that most of my listeners have no idea how to decipher an ingredient list. They can turn a product around, look at the ingredient list, look at all the marketing claims, which is 90% spin, and still have no idea whether they should buy this product, whether it's what their skin needs, and all of that. But Annie, before we start decoding ingredient lists, remind us a little bit about your background in cosmetic chemistry and what ultimately led you to co-found Atomic Pom Labs with Diego.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Diego did not want to talk about shopping and products today, so you get me. So Atomic Pom Labs was co-founded by Dr. Diego Lapatina and myself, and together we build brands through formulation, design, structure, AI, marketing. So we build that all into one rather than sometimes we see a little bit of patchwork out there. Everything is fully customized. IP goes direct to our client. And we just don't like the CM sort of version of these things where everything's on a chassis and it's like you get a version of all of their creams or version of their serum and it's yours, but they own it, but you've paid for it. We just didn't like that model. So, yeah, Atomic Pom Labs is here to sort of disrupt that a little bit. And we formulate internationally. And that's been really interesting because it's made us real pros on regulatory rules
Mm.
in different systems, whether that be the EU or the UK or the FDA or Health Canada, and they're all generally the same. But there's a lot of paperwork involved to get to the end point, and it's been a really fun journey for us so far. We just launched something called the Dispatch to help brands, which is basically Diego has built a program that goes through the internet. We're looking at Women's World Daily, we're looking at Vogue, we're looking at cosmetics and toiletries, and it's pulling the top four stories. So people will get that in their inbox every single morning. It's free. You just have to go to our website and sign up for it. But it's very, very cool. And I think if you are in any avenue, any corner of the beauty world, whether that's retail or you're an accountant for somebody,
Mm.
it's very beneficial. A lot of good information in there.
That's amazing. All right, so let's hop into it. Like, you know, I think consumers, for the most part, treat an ingredient list as the ultimate source of truth when
Yeah,
it comes to a skincare product. I mean, don't we all? But
they're not
like,
wrong.
yeah, but while the ingredient list does reveal useful information about a product, it doesn't necessarily tell us whether a product's elegant, effective, stable, or even right for our skin. And ingredients below the 1% line can be manipulated and moved and put in any order, right? So, like, I guess my first question for you, Annie, is when you pick up a product and turn the carton around, what are the first things you're looking for?
On the INCI
Yeah.
or on the carton?
I mean, look, yes, let's do the whole thing. Like, are you
Okay.
trusting the marketing language that copywriters like me are writing above the ingredient list?
Look, I'm in a different bubble, and I can't help but see through a lot, right?
Hmm.
So, um, there is that part of my brain that no, I don't really fall for everything, but I'm also a consumer.
Yeah.
I love luxury
We know
skincare.
you love luxury products.
So
Yep.
sometimes I can beat that part of my brain down, and I'm like, I need to see what this is all about. I need to try it. It's amazing. I really do spend a lot of money on skincare, which is ridiculous.
That is crazy
I could
since
make it,
you can
but
make all of it.
I love the experience of it. From
Yes.
going to the counter in the department store where those women are so impeccably dressed and manicured and giving me all the words, and I'm sold. Okay. And I know, but I don't necessarily want that to happen to other people who aren't in my position, right? Um, Part of me tells myself this is R&D. Part of me this is my job. I have to do this. I have lots of excuses, okay, but nobody should go bankrupt over skincare. So let's just say you're the average person walking into a Target and you're picking up the first fancy package you see, right?
Hmm.
Because that's how we see them, right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, you want to know what it is. Sometimes I think that brands can be a little too cool for school, especially nowadays with a lot of minimalism in their branding. Takes you a hot minute to figure out what is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to maybe add another category, mist, toner, essence. I don't know what's coming next. Rainwater. I don't know. It's all kind of the same, right? But you have to sort of know what is this,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
then hopefully the brand will say moisturizing facial cleanser or something on it, right?
Okay.
I think a good brand should tell you what this product is, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just like skin whisperer. And you're like, I don't know what this does, right?
Remind me to never name a product Skin Whisper.
You just don't know what it does. So I think that's the first thing. You find out what it does, right?
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for a moisturizing facial cleanser? Then great. We've got checked one box there. Is this in a price range that I can afford? Because the truth of the matter is we're all shopping in the same ingredient store, whether we are Burt's Bees or we're something more clinically defined or we're like fun and whatever, like Milk Makeup or one of my favorite brands. Shout out to Winky Lux. They never acknowledge me, but I love them. They should get into skincare a little bit more.
Okay, Winky Lux, and then where does Chanel go?
Not there, okay?
I just try to gauge.
So fun. Chanel is an experience. You don't
Right.
buy it online. You go to the counter. You really make them work for that $100, $200, $300. Okay, like
Yeah.
you go and get the whole experience. Let them rub everything and spread. You just go for it. Okay, so we're all getting those ingredients from the same space. They're put together a little bit differently. Yes, some are more expensive than others. Some are very basic. But essentially, if you're a normal person just getting into skincare, you do not need, if you're just learning to drive, your first car should not be a Ferrari, right? You just go get a Honda. You'll be fine. You'll get to work. So I think just go to the Target and make sure it says what you want it to do. It's in your price range. And then it's trial and error from there. This industry is a very hard for the average person to go out and really just nail it, right? Like that's not true. That's not true. But you can also keep in mind your high school biology class, right?
Yeah.
You kind of got to remember a little bit how the body works, how skin works, and if the package is saying something that makes no sense really on the planet Earth, that's a clue for you too.
Okay, so you're talking the basics. Obviously, if you're going for a cleanser, you really can't go wrong with a cleanser. Like it's kind of hard, right? Like you're not going to damage your skin unless you have sensitive skin. If you're looking
acid cleansers.
Okay, yes, a glycolic acid cleanser
that I don't think are good for nailing a good cleanser is the base, right?
Right.
I've used a few, even the Chanel one, this really balmy oil cleanser, but like I have kind of oily skin. I broke out after about a week, and I just wasn't getting a good enough cleanse, right?
Oh, wow.
I think it was important. You can mess up your life with a cleanser.
But it's really trial and error, right?
Absolutely.
All of skincare is trial and error if you really think about it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I guess the reality is you just have to temper your expectations. Like,
we're out there shopping for hope half the time.
Hope in a jar.
Hope in a jar. So I think it's really important if you're just beginning or if you've gone off the deep end and you have to go back to basics to just know what you need. You need, for general hygiene and general skincare, in my opinion, a good cleanser, a moisturizer, and sunscreen. Then, comfortable with that after a few weeks, and you want to add an active, the active might be a vitamin C, it might be a retinol.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be miracle broth
Yes.
or something that
Don't start. I
or
have a
something
I have
that
a friend in Paris, and he's going to be listening to this. Idris, I'm shouting you out, and he's going to be like, "It only took you 20 minutes to get to La Mer."
is it your
That's
favorite or is it a
that's
hate?
it. That's my favorite brand to
It's your
slag.
Chanel. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't. No, it's not my Chanel.
So
It's the opposite of that.
okay.
Yeah. So, you know what I love about what you just said about those basics? Every dermatologist I have ever had on the podcast would say the exact same thing. You need a cleanser, you need a moisturizer, you need a sunscreen. If the sunscreen is a moisturizer as well, a cleanser and that in the morning, and then at night you can add a retinol. If you're becoming more advanced, actually not, you should add a retinol according to every dermatologist. And then you can start looking at adding a vitamin C serum in the day. But for the most part, they stop at that. That's it. They don't want it. They don't want anything. They don't want using anything else on your face. Which, right? Look, we love skincare. We're both skincare users and lovers. Like, how much money do I spend on skincare a month? It's crazy, and I get so much free product. It's nuts. But let's get back to that ingredient list. Like,
okay.
What can an ingredient list genuinely tell us about a product? And then the converse, what can't it tell us?
Okay, I'm going to try to just look at this through the eyes of, like, let's say Diego, who does not want to go shopping for skincare, okay?
Oh, okay.
So Diego's shopping for a facial cleanser, turns it over, there's a big label with the INCI in there. The INCI is the international nomenclature. So all of the names on that are generally a regulatory document. That little thing's a regulatory document. So Health Canada makes you put it on there. The FDA makes you put it on there. The EU makes you put it on there. And they're regulated in a way that if you are in France, you can read the Greek one. And if you are in Greece, you can read the American one, right? So that's why they use those sort of gibberish-ish Latin names for the ingredient.
Yep.
And the International Nomenclature Institute is actually in the United States. So somebody makes a new raw material, they have to send all their data in there and say, can we have a name? And you don't get to say, I want this to be called pink sparkle dust, because that would look slick on an INCI.
You're talking if you invent a new molecule.
A new raw material.
A new raw material. Got it. Yes.
Yeah. So you have to send it in to get called aqua water perfume. It needs to be assigned a name, okay?
Yeah.
Propandiol, whatever. But you don't get to pick what that name is, okay? So you can suggest, I really want it to be sparkly pink muffin, and they're going to be like, nope, it's going to be called toxic holy water. You have to live with that. So now, even though this really is a pink sparkly muffin of an ingredient, they just threw this name out at you called toxic holy water. You have to put that on the INCI. You have to.
Right.
So the INCI does not tell the average consumer very much, especially if it's a trade name ingredient or like an active ingredient. The only thing that maybe a regular consumer might know by looking at it is this water-based or oil-based? What's the first ingredient? Does it say aqua? Then that's the main ingredient in this. So you know it's a water-based cleanser. If it doesn't say, if it just says like Skin Whisperer on the front and it doesn't tell you what it is, and you look at the INCI, aqua, water, you know it's water-based. If it said some sort of oil, then you know it's oil-based or silicone-based. So maybe that. You might also be able to tell the preservative system, but not always. And I think we will get to that with a few products you're going to surprise me with here later on.
Yep.
But sometimes you'll be able to tell what the preservative system is. And you know what? That preservative system was chosen for a reason. you can't say, oh, I love this product, I just wish they'd swap this out. Because swap it out with what? Something that doesn't work in a high botanical, high water content product? That preservative was not chosen necessarily to fit in a market. Maybe with clean beauty it was, but it was chosen for that particular formula first.
Got it. Got it. All right. So we're looking at an ingredient list. I think one of the first rules, consumers learn is that the ingredients appear in descending order of concentration. So we then start assigning importance to everything near the top and dismissing everything near the bottom, right? Like, is the top 10 rule legitimate? Like, I kind of like to go by the top 10 rule, but peptides, like, they don't need to be in the top 10 to be effective.
No.
Yeah.
Or panthenol, like
Or
you don't need
panthenol, yeah.
Like most really good actives do not need to be at a high concentration. High concentration. Plus, let's say you had I got a whole bunch of ingredients in front of me. Let's say you had a special peptide, okay, that you wanted to put in. So the peptide INCI on the actual product might be water, glycol, blah, 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 and then tripeptide something or other. That has to be broken up too, right? So I don't have to double down and say water twice, but that will put your tripeptide way down there, right? Because it's kind of in that solution, and only a little bit of that solution is your peptide. So I don't know if that rule is really beneficial. I think I like to look at products that tell me what they do. Okay, so let's say it's a serum and it says brightening serum. Awesome. Maybe it's not vitamin C. Maybe it's alpha arbutin, or it's something else that needs to be or maybe it's a different kind of derivative of vitamin C that you need way more of or way less of. So I think if you're just starting and just shopping and you're just trying to figure this stuff out, read the marketing directly what it is and what it does, okay? There's going to be a whole bunch of noise around it, but it should say what it does. And if it says brightening, then okay, well, I'm 40 and my pigment is starting to show and I've just started wearing sunscreen. Maybe this is the active serum that I should wear. That is probably a better way to choose it than trying to decipher what in the INCI is making it brightening.
Okay, so let's say you're walking into Sephora and you have hyperpigmentation. I mean, that's such a tough nut to crack. Like, let's just
it's going to be our example because everyone has it.
It'd be our example. Like, you're not going to cure your hyperpigmentation with one vitamin C serum over a month. But say you have moderate or like low intensity dark spots that or you feel like you have let's go with a dull complexion, right? And you're looking for a brightening serum to address a dull complexion. There's probably 40, 50, 60 brightening serums. And most of them, I don't even know, it might not be most of them. The vast majority of them would be vitamin C serums. So let's say you're looking at 3 vitamin C serums. You love these 3 brands. You love Glow Recipe, you love Drunk Elephant, you love Skin Fix. I don't know, like brands that come to mind. Like, how do you decide which one of those vitamin C serums, not those specific brands, but how do you decide of those 3 of 3 vitamin C serums you're looking at that, one of them is the most effective for you? Is it really just a crapshoot?
I think for maybe you and me, it wouldn't be, but I think for the average consumer, it would be, because if they are all vitamin C, there's so many types of vitamin C, right? So you're not comparing apples to oranges, right? One might say 5% or vitamin C and it's L-ascorbic acid. Another might say 30% and it's like THC, it's oil soluble or something, right? So then you're looking at the numbers and you're like, this is obviously better than this, but it's not. So I do think that's when we need to go back to, you've narrowed it down to 3. Look at the price range. Don't go crazy with your first purchase. Be consistent. Try it out. And, you'll know in 2-3 weeks if you're heading in the right direction. It might not be perfect, but you know if it's not stinging you, you're not like, breaking out, or what, things might start to look a little bit better. But I think that you just have to be consistent with it and try it. And everybody will tell you, I think the best one, you have to use this, you have to use this. But
Mhm.
you know, I really think you have to go back to what you can afford, what you want to use, right? If it stinks or you don't like the fragrance, you're not going to use it. If it's like there's one brand that is like in the luxury lane that that I love, that Valmont, right?
Mhm.
Up there.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
just looks so old ladyish to me. I cannot with any of it. I don't want that sitting out, and I'm trying to look young and cute. I don't want old
Right.
lady stuff on my thing. So maybe you don't identify with the branding or marketing of it. It's not as sciencey as people are going to think. Okay, they're not shopping for that. They're not going to figure that out. And even there's so many tricks to the INCI and the combination of that with the marketing. Like, you just have to jump in the pool with something that is not out of your budget and that you feels nice, you try to sample, and that you think you're going to use. And I think that's why the ordinary is like is so good, because you can like just try something, right? And it's not
Yeah.
breaking the bank, breaking the budget. And then you start to learn that, oh, this type of vitamin C really works. Then maybe you can start to recognize it on other products. Like, it is, you learn skincare is so freaking fun.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
so fun. I mean, I can't believe it's my job, but you have to learn. You can't just go in with one rule, and think you're going to crack the code of figuring out what's what. You will not.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up about The Ordinary, because The Ordinary taught me the differences between vitamin C's, because they had like
Yeah.
6 or 7 of them, and this is like back in 2016, and they taught me what THD was.
Yeah.
And
And different retinol.
I knew immediately that that was the vitamin C that I really loved. Like, I
Yeah.
loved that product. Maybe it's because of what it was suspended in, but I just and it was an oil. It wasn't water based, and I love an oil based vitamin C product. I just do. Like, I love how that feels on my skin. I love how I layer with it. All of that stuff, and a lot of skincare really is experiential, as much as I hate to admit it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need to make this because I can't find one. If anyone knows one, tell me. I
Mhm.
want an orange vitamin C stick that smells like oranges. Like,
Wow.
that's what I really, really want.
That's amazing. So make it.
I sh- when I get the time, I'm going
Right,
to.
when we get off of this, get yourself some, beeswax out of your
No, I
bin.
want to make one with like a polymer, carbomer, so it's like clear, like the
Oh,
milk
wow.
makeup sticks. I love those, and I want it to just be beautiful. And yeah, I don't want a buttery, waxy one. I want.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so go for it. I'm like, I love a sunscreen stick. Like, I cannot have enough sunscreen sticks, and I don't. I think using a sunscreen stick on your face is nonsense. I use it in my immediate eye area. Like, I have sunscreen
Okay,
sticks in all my bags, and I'm like out and
so do you
about.
have dry skin,
No, I have normal skin.
normal skin? Okay,
Yeah,
like I
I
just don't know if
probably
I would be able to handle that, the the structure of what the sunscreen needs to be in a stick, right? I can't handle that.
right. Not on my face. I don't use it on my face, just in my eye area.
Okay.
Let's talk about moisturizers. We jumped ahead in my script here and talked about brightening serums, but one of the most basic and essential skincare products that everyone needs in their routine is a moisturizer. A basic moisturizer. I'm not talking about like a $300 Dr. Barbara Sturm anti-aging and speech marks moisturizer. Um, just a basic moisturizer. What does a consumer need to understand about that INCI or INCI or ingredient list when it comes to a moisturizer? What is the most important thing for them to look for?
Well, they're just starting out and they need a moisturizer. I mean, I think that moisturizers again are real personal preference, right?
Mm.
And sometimes, like, I don't think I'm going to use Diego as an example. I don't think he would have a preference. I think he would do very well with like the Lubriderm
Hmm.
in the pump, and it would last him a year. It would be the price that he wanted to use. It would get the job done, and it's more of a lotion than a really heavy cream, right?
Yeah.
So depends on the person. Depends sort of how much they care about the cream that you're using. I personally love my moisturizer in a pot. I feel like it feels a little more luxurious,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
But a moisturizer is, it can have a very small INCI. I would say you needed water,
Hmm.
emulsifier, oil, preservative. Like then sometimes the emulsifier has 10 names in it. So that is one ingredient, but it makes a long INCI name, right?
Yeah.
Or the preservative is one preservative, but the INCI is 3 names. So that can make it a bit longer. So you don't want to count and say, nope, too many, but they don't need to have the botanical soup in it that some products like to put in their, or brands like to put into their products. It's a water, an emulsifier, and an oil. So it ties it together, right?
Yeah.
Like an egg in the cake batter sort of thing. It emulsifies it
Yeah.
and holds it all together. So they can be very, very simple. The other thing, I might not want my active in my moisturizer all the time, and that's for lots of reasons.
Especially if it's in a jar.
Yes, so one of them is if you have an active that could oxidize
Yeah.
from the air, then that would be a downside. I think very heat sensitive actives, maybe that wouldn't be great either because an emulsification typically needs to be heated, cooled down a bit, mixed, and then cool still to put the active in, but there's still a bit of heat in there. It's not cold process. So if it's very sensitive, maybe that wouldn't be a good one. There's a few reasons you wouldn't want your actives in there. Some are just maybe you need too much, or you need too little, or they don't make a nice color, whatever it is. But usually, I like the actives more or less to be in my serum, right? I like a product to be direct. Nobody loves, sorry, Head and Shoulders, but nobody loves like 2-in-1 shampoo. Sometimes I don't love that I like my products to be what they are. So moisturizers moisturize, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna have, usually, if we get past the simplicity of its structure, humectant will also be added. So you might also see glycerin or hyaluronic acid. Then an emollient will probably be added. So you might see a ceramide. And then sometimes some sort of occlusive to help with transepidermal water loss will be added. That may be in the emulsifier. They might add another fatty acid to it that kind of protects the skin, or sodium PCA, a film former of some sort. So the moisturizers, they're such an interesting thing to create because there's so many different structures of them. A lot of them are water and oil when you mix them. Some are oil and water, and they turn out a little bit different. Like, they're really fun to build, but they're more difficult than a serum a lot of times.
Mm. That's
Even though the serum
fascinating.
costs a lot more,
Right. Why is that? That's so fascinating. I
I
had
know.
no idea that moisturizers were harder to build.
Yeah, and a cleanser is probably even harder than a moisturizer, and
Really?
and and it's just because surfactant systems are so sensitive, right?
Hmm.
Very salt sensitive, so you can have this beautiful wash, and the second you put a little bit of fragrance in there, whoosh, it's liquid, right?
Mm.
Or it sits there for 2 weeks looking amazing, and then 2 weeks and one day, whoosh, it's water again. So they're very tricky little things. Same with shampoos, like they're harder to make than a serum. But serums are expensive, I think, because
Marketing?
we put our actives in there, right? And the actives are expensive, more expensive than an emulsifier, but it's also, you don't use very much of it. You're putting it in such a small bottle, like, and a lot of them are cold processed. They're not even really emulsions. So I don't know why they're more expensive. It's consumer perception that I can charge
Completely.
more for a serum. And
Yeah.
yeah. 1 minute.
Water break for all.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Would it be safe for me to assume that you would prefer in your own skincare routine a basic moisturizer because you're layering in anti-aging
You
ingredients
would
in a
think
serum?
that.
Is not
You
true.
would think that, but my appreciation
Mm-hmm.
for a well homogenized moisturizer is grandiose. So there really is a difference in texture. Okay, Christmas is still a long ways away, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not so far away that you can start hinting, ladies, that you want a Chanel moisturizer for Christmas.
Okay.
Because the texture, the sheen, the creaminess, the feel on your skin will make you feel like you have your life together. There is a difference, and that is not necessarily the ingredients, it's the way the chemist put those luxury moisturizers together, right? Like, I think these are real high sheer. They're a little more laborious to make than just a regular emulsion.
Okay. So you're putting it out there. You want Chanel to reach out to you and not only send you
Marry
product,
me.
but ask you to formulate their next product.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Gold.
you can just drown me in a vat. I don't care. Whatever you want to do with me,
You'll
take it.
take it. All right, let's shift to, I was going to say, the fun part of the episode. I don't know. Like, this has been pretty fun so far.
It's been fun. I love being with you.
Yeah, I always think about, when I go to create reels afterwards, I'm always looking for the fun part of the episode to create a reel and say, this was my favorite moment. I don't even know how I'm going to decipher all of this. But speaking of deciphering, I want to decipher 3 specific products, and I sent you those products about, I don't know, 2 hours before we got on, after I got off my bike this morning. I had this idea while I was riding my bike, and I was like, ooh, let's do that. That would be really fun. So I want to take a look at 3 products. I have one of them here with me, so let's start with this product. This is a product that I came across recently that I am obsessed with. Okay. And what is so hilarious to me about this product is I think there's 5 ingredients in the INCI. It's the Epicutis. The Epicutis Hydrobiome Serum.
Okay. I'm just pulling them up on my iPad so I can see what they're saying and what the INCI is.
Yeah, so
but I've never used this, and I hear estheticians talk about it nonstop.
Interesting. Well, I had never used it and never heard of the brand. The brand Epicutis says that their Hydrobiome Serum is an EWG verified pending formulation designed to improve overall skin health through balancing the microbiome and strengthening the skin barrier. They make a few other claims on their site, like, I don't even know what this means, TCP, to balance the microbiome. TPNA, TP sodium, is that what that is? Provides antioxidant protection, sodium hyaluronate, and propane diol. I don't even know, are there 10 ingredients in this? The first 2 ingredients are water and propane diol. Like, to your point about Chanel and what you love about Chanel, like, the texture, Annie, look at the texture on this. Like, I'm sure you're not surprised. It is.
I can look at the INCI and see it.
Yes, of course you can. You're an oracle. The Odyssey came out today, so you're our skincare oracle. Like, go ahead. It's just so wet and not sticky.
I know.
Obsessed.
So okay. So we've got water, propanediol, pentylene glycol, glycerin. Okay, so glycerin can make things really sticky, right? Mm-hmm. But it is lubricious and luscious, and it is so good. It's a humectant that just takes all the water. It's like water, come to my face and plump it up. Okay, and it can feel sticky. So propanediol and pentylene glycol are both going to take that stickiness away and give it more of a silky feel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The hyaluronic acid is going to thicken it, make it a little more viscous like it is. I don't know. I'd have to look more into this, but to me, propanediol is like the clean EWG version of a glycol. So I don't know why they use a glycol and a propanediol, but I'm sure there's an explanation for it. EWG, we all know, is a for-profit fear-mongering business, so we're not going to go by there, but it says pending. So that just means they've applied for it.
Right.
Like EWG can be like, no, it says pending, trademark pending. Anyway, okay, so it's a nice minimalist formula. There's no fragrance. There's no essential oils. Yay. There's not all these botanicals. There's no silicones, yet it still feels like, I know it feels like this, a little bubble of water that you burst.
Yes,
and
that is exactly what it feels like.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. That's a beautiful feel. BioEffects, EGF, also does this very, very well.
Yep.
Their serum is much smaller than that one, so I'd be interested to see how much that was. So their TCP has 500 letters in it. We'll give it a try here. Tetramethylhexyl decyline cysteine formyl propylenate. We'll call it TCP, okay? I'm sure I messed that up somewhere.
What the hell is that?
It's TM trademark, so it's their star. It's like they're using it as a signaling molecule, basically to calm and be anti-inflammatory and nice and say everything's okay, we're hydrating you, stay calm, that sort of thing. So it is one of those products that instead of like offensively regenerating, like we love in North America, acids, retinols, all that stuff, it really is more hydrating, protecting, softening, calming of the skin. So that's nice. I think they maybe take it a little far when they start talking about the microbiome, because when you talk about that, you usually think prebiotics, postbiotics, ferments, that sort of thing. And there's nothing like that in there. So I think by being good for the microbiome it's not disrupting it in any way, but it's just hydrating it, right? So that's what I think of that one. It's it's a nice product. I don't know if it's worth that, but
it's 165, right?
I know, but the way that people talk about it, maybe it is. It's not going to change your life if you're just getting into skincare.
Yeah.
But if you're like, doing good in life, you just got your partnership and you're like, I need to up my skincare, try it out, because
you've tried 1,000 things and you're jaded. That's me. I love it. I love it. I love using it. I don't want to misspeak when I say that I think it's innovative, because I understand it's not really, but it's innovative in the sense that I have never tried anything like it. And so it's standout. Let's call it standout. Like, it's just like magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good non-sticky, plumping, soothing humectant. Who doesn't need that? If you have perfect skin and you don't need a vitamin C or a retinol, like, get this. Or you have really dry skin, right? And you live in like Arizona, get this. Because sometimes, like, we're so global. Sometimes, like, some of us were meant to live on the Greek Isles where it's humid and, our skin is good, but then you wind up in like Nevada. You're born in Nevada, like, darn it. So
wait, when you say meant to, you're talking about before you've reincarnated?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right. So amazing product. Let's move on to this La Mer, the concentrate serum. I always crack up at La Mer. Like, they couldn't be bothered naming the product, so they called it the concentrate serum. Like, every brand could call their product that, but and as a copywriter, it horrifies me. But anyway, so this product, this is one of their best-selling products. they say about this product, this potent barrier repair serum, powered by concentrated miracle broth, not just the regular old miracle broth
TM.
that they put in their other stuff, TM, ensures an ideal state of rest and repair. This calming face serum for stressed skin helps to repair skin barrier damage while strengthening and stabilizing for skin that appears stronger, visibly soothed, and renewed. And the INCI, I couldn't even name the INCI because that would be an entire separate episode. So if you want to hear what's in the INCI, that'll be episode 86A. And you can just skip ahead.
Have a good internet plan.
But what's out to me here, and I'll let you take it. Like when I look at this INCI and I see that the first ingredient is cyclopentasiloxane, and they're charging, what is this product? $300? I don't even remember.
50 milliliters is almost $1,000.
$1,000 and the first ingredient is cyclopentasiloxane. Okay. And then the second ingredient is algae extract, which I wish were the first ingredient, but it's not. So take it from there, Annie.
Okay, first of all, when you look at something like this, literally, it's like fermented seaweed. That does
Right.
not smell luxurious. That does not look luxurious. So, I mean, this is so far from the ocean because it smells nice and it feels nice, and so processed that, you can't really say you're taking this miracle broth from the sea, in my opinion. Botanical soup, way too much of all of that. It is essentially, to me, it's got the polysilicone 11, silicone elastomers, cyclopentasiloxane, dimethicone, is a silicone serum. And I think most people, when they put this on their skin, yes, it's going to feel amazing and it'll probably look amazing because silicones are really good at masking and blurring things, right? When you get a primer or something, those are also silicones. They're just put together a little bit differently. So this is essentially a silicone serum that's probably got some slip cushion and a nice velvety finish to it. Of course, your skin is going to look amazing. I don't think the lemon tea concentrate and all that kind of stuff is going to do a whole lot. That's probably more for their marketing. Their complex of minerals has like copper glutamate, zinc glutamate, magnesium gluconate, calcium gluconate. They're nice additions and they probably help with like barrier support and skin conditioning. So niacin, that's interesting that they didn't use niacinamide.
I was going to
Niacin,
say, what is the
yeah,
purpose of that?
it will increase blood flow. I mean, have you ever taken a niacin vitamin?
Yes, and I take niacinamide every morning, and if I take 500 milligrams, I'm good. If I take 1,000, I'm red in an hour.
Okay, but you take niacinamide or niacin?
Niacinamide.
Okay, I wanted to take niacinamide and I took niacin.
Oh,
My ears were on fire for 3 hours. Your face, your ears, everything. So it really does increase blood flow.
right.
So probably a very small amount in here, and it probably works a little bit different topically than if you have that in your digestive system, but might give you a little bit of flushing, so that would make you look really nice too instantly, which is a very creative thing to do. It's almost the same as like when you put like Dior does this a lot, when they have like a serum or something and it looks like unicorn tears. It's a little bit of mica and silicones to blur and diffuse, right? It's like an instant trick. I think it probably is a little bit reparative with some of those, but overall, it's genius storytelling, like very genius. Because, and I'm gonna say that this would be something that Diego and I would love to do in the way that formula matches the visuals, matches the wording, the branding. It's so intertwined, that story, and it's not sort of a mismatched slap it on, here's your benefits, here's your whatever. Like it is truly a story that you want to buy into.
So would you buy this product?
No.
Would you use this product if they gave it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never used it, but Listen, I'm impressed you get all this stuff. I do not get any PR. We get zero PR.
Mm.
Everything I ever talk about, I've gone out and bought myself. So that's why there's little breaks, and that's why, all of a sudden I'm talking about all these amazing like Prada and Dior stuff, and then I'm like, here's a lip balm. You eventually run out of money, right? But then you get back on it again, and I want to go and try some Sicily stuff. But La Mer is on my list. It's just not the top of it right now. But I do like to buy them because I can say what I want, and nobody's feelings are hurt.
Yeah. Have you ever used a jar of La Mer?
No, but I've used the testers, in the store. I think the cream would be way too heavy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to handle that. I know I could probably just use a little bit, but I think it's way too heavy for me. And this one, even though it's beautifully put together, it's not my style, right? Like it's not attracting me in this sense.
Yeah, I think it's very Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
There you go.
With their Birkin bag.
Yeah, I mean, so it has to be something like Prada. I think Prada is going to be one to watch in the future for skincare, FYI. Their skin cream is really nice, but the Prada augmented skin face serum, like that, I'm like, augment me. I don't know. It just draws me in, and it's like this silver and gold futuristic looking packaging draws me in more than, seaweed.
Right.
Here's your fermented fish stew for your face. That doesn't attract me as much.
Prada augmented face serum. I need to try that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the third product. This, you probably don't know, is the #1 selling moisturizer in Sephora.
What is it? The Rhode.
Fascinates me. The Rhode Barrier Restore Cream Hydrating Daily Moisturizer. The brand says it's a rich yet lightweight cream moisturizer for your everyday routine. BRC hugs your skin with comforting hydration while improving dullness and supporting healthy looking skin over time. It's our go-to step for ultimate barrier nourishment.
So dry, parched skin is not a healthy barrier, right? So I think every moisturizer is barrier repair. People damage their own barriers. Can I just say that?
That's for sure.
Most people are not sensitive. They're sensitized. Like you. Yeah. So wash, moisturize, sunscreen is barrier repair. You don't need ingredients to repair your barrier. Your barrier will repair if you stop.
If you stop damaging it. Yeah. If you stop compromising your barrier with glycolic acid.
This is the opposite of the Epicutis, okay, which was minimal, and this has everything in it. Everything. And it looks like it would, have you tried this?
I have not.
I think it would be rich.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of trendy ingredients, which Rhode does very well.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy emphasis on all the peptides, right?
There's a lot of peptides in here.
There's a lot of peptides in there. But, I don't think, again, more is not better because, I mean, there's a trillion peptides out there, but I don't know if they're all really that successful at reaching the part of your skin that they can do something in, right? Mm-hmm. Evidence always looks great in a petri dish, right? They're not lying. It does do this, but when you put it on the skin and it can't get down to the dermis to signal or do something, then it's
like collagen.
My mom used to always buy shoes. She'd be like, I got the best deal on these fancy, expensive shoes that are half a size too small. That is not a deal, right? Like if it doesn't work, then it's not something. So same with these peptides. Very emollient. So here we go. We've got the humectant, glycerin, the emollient, cap triglyceride, shea butter, and occlusive. Awesome. Those are 3 things you would look for in a moisturizer. And then they've got some niacinamide, groundbreaking.
That's probably what, at 2%, which is it's functional. Sure. It's functional enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they use in here we talked about this off camera before, how there's a trade name, an INCI name, and then like the average person's name for an ingredient, right? So they have something in there called Renovage TM trademark, and that is something that's something that I think we see a little bit of now. It's supposed to like support telomeres. It's very anti-aging, improves your barrier, and again, I think that if we go back to high school and we look at how biology works, it probably is not, it's a little sus, but whatever, they're making a legitimate case for it. Bisoprolol is very soothing, sodium hyaluronate. They use a very standard preservative system. So I think it's good on everything, but it's not change your skin moisturizer. It's just a very well put together moisturizer.
It is, right?
Everything that you would ever want in a moisturizer, and it's not $1,000, is it? It's like, what do they say on here? Like,
is it $30? $49?
$48, yeah.
$48. This is probably their top selling product. I mean, it's Rhode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think when you look at the three of them, like for interesting science, I like the Epicutis. It's well put together, minimal, and it's interesting. The Rhode is well done. It doesn't overpromise. The La Mer is like another dimension that I will go to one day and try, but it's not here on Earth. But it's definitely the luxury experience. But I think that Rhode is probably definitely the best value. And if you can afford it, try that Epicutis, right?
Yeah. Aw. You need to try this Epicutis.
I do need to try it. I feel it. I mean, I love that texture. I do have the BioFX EGF that I'll use tonight.
It's similar. I know that product, and that's a little bit thicker and a little bit tackier
than that one.
Than this one, yeah.
Okay.
All right. But that's a lovely product. Yeah. I mean, I understand why, it's still on the market all these years later, why it was innovative back then, and kind of, I don't know if it's still innovative. I mean, there's growth factors in everything, EGF and everything, not everything, but they're, pervasive now. Before we get to my last question and then the super fun lightning round, like, what would you, Annie, like consumers to stop doing when they evaluate skincare formulas?
Reading the INCI list. It's not for you.
Okay.
Is one of them, right? I think you have to. Here's another thing I would do is start with some of the big brands. I know we all want the cool indie stuff, but the amount of corners I've seen cut on even how they write an INCI, they're not compliant. When they're saying things like it's 100% natural and organic, yet it's this bright purple color. Like, there's just so many things about the indie brands that I think they miss. Like, they don't build their brand with regulatory and scalability in mind. So I would just go get, I know everybody wants to hate the big corporations, but whatever, go buy L'Oreal, CoverGirl, whatever it is. Just try a big brand first, maybe The Ordinary.
CeraVe.
Because, they've been around. They've been staples for a long time. It's a good place to start. And honestly, it is such a fun thing to get into skincare. You have to learn your basics, and then you can fly.
That's such a great point. Start with the basics, and then you can fly.
Yeah. And I really want also everyone to know that please do not have FOMO. There is not a secret ingredient that you are missing out on. There's not a secret anything that you can buy in the cosmetic lane that will change your life in the way that many of these brands promise. Okay, so it's hygiene. You need to wash, moisturize, and sunscreen. The rest of it is very, very fun and might help a little bit here and there. But do not have FOMO that if you don't get this, you're going to get old and wrinkly, because you will not.
Right. Especially if you're wearing sunscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look down the road, let's say 5 years. What do you hope consumers understand about skincare products that they don't understand today?
That they're regulated and that they're safe, and that they need to stop listening to whispers in mama yoga class that something is toxic and it shouldn't be in your skincare, right? I think that the governing bodies that we have looking at our cosmetics that we report to and have to do filings with, they have no monetary interest in what you buy.
Yeah.
So they do not give a shit. They don't give a beep, but they want to make sure it is safe, right? So I would tend to believe that um, uh, over someone who whose cousin's brother or whatever thought that this was toxic in a bean that he ate in the Amazon forest somewhere, right? Like it just, they take things out of context so much.
Yeah, there's
So
been so much of
yeah.
that.
So don't worry about that. All your skincare is safe. Use as directed, and it is safe.
Yeah. We've been through that. We're still going through the chemical sunscreen crap. I think the paraben scare is over, right? Like we don't hear about that anymore.
I don't think any new brand starts with them, but there's lots of brands that were never budged, so good for them.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into the lightning round. Just 3 fun, quick questions. An ingredient that you think deserves far more love than it gets.
Glycerin.
Aww.
I did a whole post on glycerin. It is the gold standard, the OG, and you can't convince me that there's a better humectant out there, even though lots of people have tried. I think glycerin is just the absolute perfect ingredient for cosmetics.
I love that. It's been in everything for 1,000 years. Yeah. It's not sexy, but a lot of skincare doesn't need to be sexy. And your skin doesn't need sexy. Your skin needs the basics.
Someone will rename it and then we'll all love it.
I'm gonna rename it, and I'm gonna tell what does INCI stand for again?
The International Nomenclature.
in Institute, is that it?
Yeah. So glycerin didn't have a good PR team when they signed up for INCI name. I think I think tetrapeptide, whatever, had a better
totally. That's hilarious. All right, how about an ingredient whose hype has gotten ahead of its efficacy or the science?
I have never been to Korea, and I love you, Korea, but you guys shoot stuff out there so freaking fast that I cannot keep up, right? Like they're just choo with the active. So
go ahead.
I prefer the style of formulating, like the French have that tried and true, trusted ingredient, being consistent, that sort of thing. So lots of stuff comes out, and I'm like, where did that come from? And you know what all of those things are. I don't need the comments, but I think a lot of the actives that we see from the Korean skincare industry, which is super fun, is a little much sometimes.
Are you ready? Are you sitting down? I know you didn't go to Cosmoprof this year, and we now know why. But I was walking the Korea pavilion for probably 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't just walking, I was stopping and having like really broad, in-depth conversations with founders and whoever else was manning a particular booth. And when I turned the corner and I came upon a case line of products all formulated with banana PDRN, it's like, this is not happening. Am I in the Family Guy pavilion? I'm like, wait a minute. Banana PDRN.
Grocery store. Like, I don't know.
Banana PDRN. All right, anyway, we'll leave that word. Hopefully that doesn't make it to American shores anytime soon, or North American shores.
It'll be the latest rage when it does.
Yeah. Last question. Aside from sunscreen, what's the one product you'd want with you if you were stranded on a desert island for 6 weeks?
A good clear gel cleanser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wash the sand off my face.
I not only love the squishy feel of the texture of one,
Mhm.
I think they're just the best, and they clean really well. And then I just know, like, I probably won't break out too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
when I
Good.
won't have sunscreen, my face will be. I'll have to hide under the banana leaf tree that hopefully someone left me with.
Right. Well, nobody left you there. You crashed on a
I
boat.
crashed. Okay, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe deodorant. I don't know.
Deodorant.
I don't.
You could use the cleanser as deodorant. You're fine.
I suppose.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think I'm with you on that. It has to
You
be
can
it has to be a cleanser. I just know
technically
from
brush your teeth with those too, right? It just
Well,
doesn't
I
have to
mean,
be-
do you watch Survivor? They brush their teeth with twigs, and I'm not ever sure. They're in Fiji, but there might be a specific tree. I mean, we know the Greeks and Romans brushed their teeth with mastic, right? So, yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
yeah. Annie, this is so much fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great seeing you again. I'm glad you're a
Yeah.
little bit closer to me now. And
Yay!
yeah, we'll talk again soon.
All right. Have a good
Bye.
one.
Thank you.
Ciao. All right. Thank you for listening to the Skincarma Pod. Find more insights, real talk, and reviews of my favorite skincare products on the Skincarma blog at skincarma.com. And if you're listening on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or Substack, please rate and review this episode. It helps me to reach more listeners. Ciao.